So I wanted to cover a little news. If you're a Mass Effect fan, you might have heard already. You probably heard already. It's been out since a couple of days. As I'm recording this, Mass Effect might be, because it's still not sure if I understand the article correctly, adapted into a TV series by Amazon Studios. So I suppose it's Amazon Prime Video, right? The Amazon Netflix.
Wait, I get to drive a forklift?
So yeah, we could have a TV series, a Mass Effect TV series coming up soon. So exciting stuff. Obviously, it was trending on Twitter. The whole Mass Effect community was all hyped about it. Obviously, Mass Effect stuff, I'm all for it, you know. I'm a Mass Effect nerd. If you're familiar with the channel, you probably know that already. If you're not, check out the catalog of videos. You will see a lot of Mass Effect videos. Nerd! And I am very excited about it, don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna be also the Grinch. I think we also need to be skeptic. At least that's where I stand. Because, well, first, right off the gate, pretty much every single video game adaptation that I can think of, or, you know, from absolutely shitty to meh. Even in recent years, we've had like Assassin's Creed becoming a movie. The franchise is cool. You might not like the story, the writing. We've had better writing in other games, let's be fair. But I'm a big Assassin's Creed head. I love it. And when I heard it's gonna be adapted into a movie, when I heard Michael Fassbender, great actor.
My name is Magneto.
I was like, yeah, cool, let's go. And it ended up being real difficult. Aww. I can think of course, in recent years about the Witcher series on Netflix. And I still haven't watched it. I need to. I've heard good things about it, but if we're being honest, it's not an adaptation of the video games, Witcher 1, 2, and 3. It's an adaptation of the books. Now, I'm sure this series wouldn't exist if the games wouldn't have existed in the first place, of course, but yeah, it's not like they're adapting the storylines and the interactions and all the different subplots from the games. They have more liberty in that sense. So I'm not sure it would be a great example to put out there in terms of good recent video game adaptation. It's not really one. So yeah, that's my first feeling. Ooh, video game adaptation? The track record is not great. Let's just put it that way, right? And then when it comes to Mass Effect specifically, the timeline is a bit problematic. At least for an adaptation, is what I mean. You basically, as I see it, you basically have 4 options. Let me show you my fingers. There's basically 4 options for Mass Effect or a Mass Effect series when it comes to when or where in the timeline this story or those stories could take place. You could basically have adapting the Shepard story.
Shepard. Rex.
So a series that literally goes through the events of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. You could have second option a sequel to that. So something that happens after the Reaper War. You could have a third, a distant prequel in the Mass Effect universe. Or you could have a more recent prequel, I guess you could call it. Something focused on the First Contact War. I've seen people suggesting things like that or about that on Twitter. And if I'm being honest, I'm gonna go real quick on each one of them. They're kind of stuck with only one choice. Because if they try to do Shepard's story, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, it's all good and it's all fine and dandy, but first, I don't really see the point, because Mass Effect is a very cinematic game saga to start with. It's not some kind of 2D top view game that would, oh yeah, that'd be great to see it with special effects and all that. Like, I don't really see the point, to be honest. And also, you would have to have a canon Shepard. Fem Shep, male Shep, the different choices in the story. What do we do with the Reapers at the end? You know, all of that. So that would be very risky. Every fan would be outraged. Hashtag not my Shepard and all of that. So I don't think that's a good idea. And I don't think it would be doable, like, you know, reasonably. Second option, a sequel to that. I mean, that's the whole problem with the Shepard trilogy. Is that BioWare themselves, when they did a new game after those 3 games, they dodged the issue entirely by making Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, literally just avoiding the problem altogether. Now, they announced, of course, the upcoming sequel. We've seen Liara in the teasers, we've seen some hints, but it's not clear how far in the future, compared to Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, it takes place. And as of now, it's not like the game is about to come out next year. Amazon doesn't have anything to work with if they want to make a story that takes place after the trilogy. And again, you fall back on this problem that is, what do we do the ending? Destroy ending, control ending, synthesis ending. Are the Reapers still here? And it's Shepard, I guess? Or you know, is there no Reaper left? Like, you know, it would be problematic, and also would kind of interfere with the games themselves. I can think of Game of Thrones wanting to complete the series while the books are not finished. Like, you know, we're getting into that kind of territory, which is historically not great. And the third option is a distant prequel. Now, outside of a few nerds like me, because I would love it. Like you make a story that takes place during the Rachni Wars, or the Krogan Rebellion, or any big event in the timeline, I would love it. But there would be no humans. That's the problem with Mass Effect, is that you place a story, you know, during those events, that's thousands of years back in the past, and humans are like, you know, I don't know, in antiquity, you know, Mesopotamian and shit. It's very unlikely that they would do it, you know, no human characters, like, yeah, no, that's out of the question. And so finally it leaves us with the fourth option, which is the First Contact War. In case you're not familiar with the Mass Effect franchise at all, the First Contact War is basically when humans started to travel through the galaxy, use the first mass relays, and encountered the Turian species, and a conflict based mostly on a misunderstanding, but a conflict erupted, and then the Council stepped in and everything. The humans were granted an embassy on the Citadel Council, all of that jazz. There's great material there. They could do a great series, but again, back to the track record, and also back to the fact that they're really stuck with that, in my opinion, because the other option seems very unlikely. And again, we don't see anything about it. Some people have talked about Henry Cavill, talking about Witcher, involved with that project at some point. We don't even know if it's going to be an animated series or a live-action series. As of now, we basically don't know much. To sum it up, very excited, but also very skeptic because of the history of video game adaptations and because of Mass Effect problem specifically in terms of timeline and where can you put this story. So let me know in the comments below what's your opinion, what you would prefer as an adaptation. Do you think they could pull off a Shepard trilogy as a series or something like that? You let me know what you would like to see and what you think would be a bad idea, and you know, your opinion about that generally. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you basically have two choices. You can either leave a like and subscribe, or live a life full of regrets knowing you have no heart. To see more of this, you can also catch me live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. All of the details and the streaming hours in the description below. Thanks again, and the dragons be willing, I'll see you in the next vid.